Hi, everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to non-subscribers, I really hope you do. I just completed my 38th year coaching football as a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I'd like to talk to you about our 3-4 match quarters variation that we call grade 3. And we're going to show it to you versus a two-man route concept that we call Oklahoma. Okay, so I'm going to go over the key terms, including what makes it an Oklahoma, what that route concept is, and then what the rules are for our pass defenders. And then I'll bring it all to life over here, including why we call it 909 football. All right. So first up, surface. For us, the surface is from tackle to tackle. That's the offensive line. And when there's a tight end, it becomes part of the surface. All right. So defenders on this side, their surfaces guard, tackle, tight end. They read that for run, pass, and direction. Defenders on this side, it's guard and tackle. They read that portion of the surface for run, pass, direction. The nose, head up on the center, reads the center, okay? Run, pass, direction. All right? So that takes care of the surface. The second term is read number 2. He tells you what to do. Read number 2 tells you what to do. That's the foundation of our match quarters. Okay? So what we have, okay, gray is our quarters. It becomes match quarters when we tag a number onto it. So since it's 3, okay, that's what I have here in my geometric figures. Okay, we have outside, inside, linebacker, and safety, inside, outside, linebacker, and safety. Those 3 are reading number 2. So it's surface to 2 for the 3 defenders on each side. Okay? And so in Oklahoma, number 2 is doing an out under 10, usually anywhere from 5 to 7 yards. Okay? And so number 3, this is what we call a go out concept, where we just say date, right? Going out in a date. Okay, because your stuff hits the fan during a game. So the date concept is a go out. Okay, so we have a vertical, but we have an out. And this is kind of like one of those all-American two-man route concepts. Every team at every level has it. All right? So the reason I'm going to show this to you versus 11 personnel is so you can learn how the difference tweak between a detached and an attached outside linebacker. Okay, so the detached over here, because 2 is detached. Non-subscribers, push the button. All right, you're going to surface, expand, eyes are on 2. When you see 2's on the out, you're going to cut 2's out. And then he's yours. And why? I'm going to show that to you in a minute. The only difference between the detached and the attached is versus the tight end. He's attached to the box. Okay? And so the only technique difference, but it's huge, starts with the knockback. Shooting hands, grabbing a fistful of tight end every single time. So now it starts with knockback. Then expand, cut number 2 out, and he's yours. Okay? So then both corners, here's also the key, right? You notice the corners not in my configuration because the corners have number 1 man. Woo, huge. And I'll show you how that works in a minute. Now, I'm going to show it to you in off, but they have number 1 man off and in press. I'm just not going to show you the press. Okay? Number 7 is 2 safeties, free and whip. They're going to read surface. They still going to mirror the release of 2, so they're going to zone off to 1, but they're going to be wheel alert. All right, remember, the corner has number 1, so there's a potential we can double number 1, but if the 2's out becomes a wheel, we want our safeties wheel alert, reading quarterback indicators so they can help. The little bit of a mismatch if it becomes a wheels with the outside linebacker. All right. And then number 8, the inside linebackers, it's the same as gray 4. Surface to 2. In this case, 2 is going to be out, so it's running back 2 or mirror the Q. Running back 2 or mirror the Q. So let's come over here now. Okay, the ball's in the middle of the field. Like I said, 11 formation, gun Dallas pistol. Bear in mind that this isn't exactly drawn to scale. It's middle of the field, right? I got a condensed board, so they're not going to be that close to the sideline or the edge. So just please try and bear all that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to start with the corners. Eventually, what I want to do first is draw Oklahoma. Right, so number one is on a go. Now that could be a skinny post, right? Could be a corner, but it's definitely well over 10-yard vertical. Number two is running that out. Okay, so over here, see, to us, that's Oklahoma. Right, going on a date. You got to go in and out. Go out, baby. Okay? So now, I'm going to do everything else in defense here in black. And then when I get back to the running back, I'll do the running back example in red. And the inside linebackers both in black. Okay, so we're going to go black to red, back to black. So let me start with the corners. And it's mirrored on both sides. And before I do, this is not a split coverage. It's the same. It's independent, meaning this side of the defense is acting independently based on this number two from this side, reading and reacting to this number two. Okay, because I have Oklahoma on both sides, but it could be Oklahoma here, and it could be a Dakota double slant over here, or it could be a Florida, right? It could be any number of things. So it's one coverage. It's not a split coverage. That's important to understand. All right. So here's what's going to happen, and this is where non-subscribers push the button. We talk about our alignments are disguised. So they're lined up on our two-high shell as always. This is our base concept. The corners are outside leverage at 7, so they look out and say, okay, it's what we always see. Snap of the football. Remember, this is off, right? They stem inside. They read surface. So I'm going to, once and for all, the surface is show and pass, okay? So the corners, even though they're in man on one, as they're stemming inside, they're going to read and confirm, is it run pass, in case they're needed somehow on the run. They see it's pass, so now, after they stem inside, their eyes go to 1. It's all about number 1. Not going to get into the techniques. They're going to play their usual man techniques versus vertical routes, everything. Okay? So now it's time for me to say goodbye to the corners and goodbye to number 1. And this is how we teach it with our players. So let me reconnect the out. All right? It's 909 football, guys. And you're about to see why we teach it this way. Corners have number 1. Boom, done. Yeah, safeties, you might be in a position where you're doubling him. Because the indicator, and this will bring in why we like to run this when we're expecting Oklahoma. Okay, the indicator is all about hitting that vertical to number 1. Okay? So next I want to go to the outside linebackers. Right, first thing is, okay, guys, who's going to take number 2? Corner's not there. See, in our grade 4, that'd be the corner, and that's when the outside linebackers, and this is, we have a huddle playbook, we have a hard copy playbook, so I don't want you to think we don't. Of course we do. But as we install it, the players haven't had a chance to look at it yet because I haven't told them to. I want to see if they can cognitively pick this up on their own without looking at the playbook. So I'm hoping the outside linebacker says, it's us, coach. And the answer would be yes. Okay? So the attached. It's going to start with his world's a tight end. Everybody else is surface, not him. The tight end moves. He probably doesn't see the ball snap because it's too far away for it. But if he can, great, right? So the tight end moves. Knockback, right? Fistful of tight end. He hears pass based on them reading the surface. We teach, right? If you can hold them there, staying square, beautiful. But as soon as your hips turn, let them go. Right? So now, He's going to work at keeping his eyes on 2. He sees the out. That's when we say expand and cut number 2 out. Cut means get in between the receiver and the quarterback. Cut the route. Okay, it's not a vertical route. So everybody's with me there? No different over here. Detached, surface, expand. He sees 2's out. Cut the out. Okay? There's your detached, there's your attached. The only difference, attached has the knockback. So now the safeties, right? Zit, 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 zit. Surf shows pass. They walk pedal. They see the out. They mirror the out. That's what get them to zone off to 1 who's not there. I purposefully erased it. It's going to be the same thing over here. Walk pedal, zone off when 2 releases outside. Okay? Well under 10. Remember, it's out under 10. So, why we were called grade 3? If we're expecting this and their dude's number 1, this gives us the chance to double that dude. It ends up being a high-low with the corner who's not there on either side, right? Because he's in man, he'll be in trail. There's the low. Safety's on top. There's the high. There's your high-low. Especially a quarterback who's got that strong arm, can really fit it in there on a rope. You can double it. Okay? And then, therefore, you make them throw to the shortest route in the concept, which is our philosophy. In match quarters, make the quarterback throw to the shortest route in the concept. So this gives us the ability to double that go by number 1. Okay? You with me? But here is your 9-on-9 football. Okay? So now the only other thing is, right, the inside linebackers. So here's the deal, right? They both read surface to 2. So they pivot, 2's out, they pivot back. Pivot, pivot back. Now the rule becomes running back 2 or mirror the cue. So I'm going to do this. Quarterback's going to flare over there. He's going to flare out. Okay? The rule is 2's out, running back to you. You got to go get it now. There's no combo with your outside linebacker. He's not available. He's got number 2. 2's out. Outside linebacker has to take him. Cut him and take him. It becomes man. Okay? Cut and take. Cut and take. So running back comes to you in any kind of a pattern. Inside linebacker, go gets it now. Hug him up, we say. Go hug him up, baby. So when the running back's not to you, he's away, mirror the cue. We want you to get across, face to face, be looking at the quarterback. He moves, you move. Front hand comes off, get your hands up. Try and knock the pass down. If nothing else, get him up so he can't maybe see where he's trying to throw, right? Even though they wouldn't be doing that in this instance, obviously. But now you're available. If the quarterback has to bring it down, we say jerk the mule. Oh, crap, because there's no way to go. He tries to run, buy time. Now you have an inside linebacker spine. Okay? So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. To non-subscribers, I hope we teased you into it. To everybody, please, questions, reach out to me, Coach mjsullivan@gmail.com. Starting to happen. I'm learning football. I know people on the other side of the screen are learning football. And so for now, right now, I'd like to thank YouTube for providing this platform. So coaches, let's make the most of it and reach out to each other.